Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
The tradition of military music is as old as military history itself. In our own Army, from the fifes and drums of revolutionary times to the full-scale Army bands of today, music has lifted and stirred the spirits of generations of soldiers. And military musicians share a proud tradition of service to the nation and to their comrades in arms. This is John Daly with the story of the United States Army Bands. Throughout the United States Army today, there are more than 70 full-scale bands. Their mission is to promote and maintain the morale and esprit de corps of troops by providing suitable music for military formations, formal concerts, and recreational activities, and to provide musical support for certain civic community relations activities. This is similar to missions of the Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps bands. To really fulfill its mission, each band must be able to play for a parade, or review, a concert, a funeral, or a dance with equal professional excellence. This takes trained, talented, professional musicians. Where do they come from? Some, already of professional caliber when they enter the Army, come directly to the bands from basic training. Most, however, follow another route. A route that leads, paradoxically, to the Navy's amphibious base at Norfolk, Virginia, the School of Music, because as any Army bandsman can tell you, that's where it's at. And more precisely, the Army element of the School of Music. A joint faculty of highly qualified Army, Navy, and Marine Corps musician instructors teaches the bandsman candidates. Usually, a candidate has enlisted specifically for this program, having auditioned successfully for an Army Bandmaster. He completes basic training and is then assigned to the Army element of the School of Music. Ahead of him lies a busy 6 months.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
Each day starts with a morning colors ceremony. This is not only a traditional ceremony, which every Army bandsman must be able to support, but a training activity on which the candidates of all services are graded. School itself begins at 8 a.m. Each day, every student has 2 hours of concert band rehearsal, conducted in most cases by a warrant officer candidate who is taking a bandmaster course at the School of Music.
And also the entire band. In the 13th measure, make sure you cut the 16th note short to prepare for the 8th note and the quarter note. Okay, start again at number 55.
In the afternoon, another 2 hours rehearsal, this time in a dance band group.
Saxes at letter A, use subtone behind the lead. Also, 4 bars into A, make sure that you're changing your moving half notes right on the beat so the tempo does not drag. We'll go back to letter A with the pickups. 3, 4, 1, 2.
Every day also holds an hour's classroom work in music theory. This is where the student advances in the fundamentals of music. He refines his skill in reading music, explores the tonal relationships involved in harmony, improves his knowledge of the language and the visual symbols of his trade.
That's better. I want you to work more on playing the exercise smoother, especially this part. Here, I'll show you.
Personal instruction by an instrumentalist of high competence is essential. And for every hour of this individual instruction, the student puts in many hours of solitary practice. Every facility for helping him develop his full potential as a musician is available. And he is a musician, or has the proven potential to be, or he wouldn't be there. But he's also a soldier, and so a good part of his musicianship must be expressed in a military context. Most afternoons, students of the Army element of the School of Music put in a full hour of drill band practice, polishing their ability to march together. This calls for a lot of practice. At the School of Music, that's what they get. For every band, of course, there has to be a bandmaster. To provide these is another function of the School of Music. Candidates for bandmaster are also candidates for appointment as warrant officers, and they learn that there is a lot of administrative detail that has to be handled by a bandmaster in addition to his job as the musical leader of the band. He learns to handle this, and he learns the rest as well.
Okay, thank you. That's enough. Your pattern has improved. You need a little more flexibility in the wrist to give it the proper continuity and grace. Thank you. Will you take your seat? A gentleman, the new conductor, is apt to overlook the fact that the more important part of your beat pattern is the way the baton travels between the points of beat. In other words, from one beat to the next beat. Let me illustrate this. I'm going to drop this pencil, and when it hits the desk, I would like to have each one of you clap. Clap your hands as it hits the desk. Are you ready? Now you see, this illustrates the fact that you knew when that was going to arrive at the desk because you could tell how fast it was moving and how fast it was accelerating. The same is true with the baton. The speed of the baton going to the beat is what tells the musician when that beat is going to occur.
All of this, and a great deal more that takes place at the Army element of the School of Music, provides the Army's major source of bandsmen and bandmasters. Some, experienced professionals when they join the Army, go directly to a band when they finish basic training. But whatever route a musician follows to assignment with a band, he's got his work cut out for him. The work will vary depending on the type and the location of the band. But wherever it is, and whatever its assignment, the members of an Army band get plenty of opportunity to practice their art. There are plenty of everyday band jobs to fill the working week, and more than enough for weekends. Saturday is when everybody wants a band. Each major Army headquarters has a band. And typical of these is the one whose home base is at historic Fort Monroe on the Virginia shore, headquarters of CONARC, the Continental Army Command. Each band has the ability to perform as a parade band, a military concert band, or a dance orchestra to fulfill its mission of providing both military and ceremonial music and music for recreation, morale, and community relations purposes. Another important category of bands is found at the training centers where young Americans make the demanding transition from civilian to soldier in a matter of weeks. During those weeks, the new soldier does more marching in formation than he will probably do in the rest of his career. And when that marching is in a unit review or graduation, it is done to the beat and the stirring musical impulse of a military band. There's something about marching to the music of a band that knows what it's doing. Marching among men who are learning to move as a team. The training center bands do an important job, but now let's turn to a band which is unique. The only all-girls, the only any-girl band in the service. It is, of course, the band which serves the Women's Army Corps Headquarters and Training Center at Fort McClellan, Alabama. Band spends a good part of each year traveling across the nation, bringing the full range of its musical talent to enthusiastic audiences from coast to coast. Like all Army bands, this one has the capability of playing for military occasions. In addition, the ladies are much in demand to provide the beat for a different kind of step.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Dance band, like its male counterparts, is counted an important morale factor, and to judge from the response of their service club audiences, this is no overestimation. Not all of the Army's bands are found in the United States by any means. The Army bands which serve with our soldiers overseas perform their military and ceremonial functions, but in addition, their public concerts provide one of the most popular and effective avenues of cultural exchange available to the military. Whoever said music is the universal language knew what he was talking about. would be hard to overestimate the importance of this medium of cultural exchange in creating greater understanding and friendship between our Army and its host nations around the world. Every Army division has a full band, and where the division goes, the men of its band go. The work of the Army bandsman in a combat theater is much like that anywhere else, only a great deal more so. For example, when they're on duty with a combat outfit like the 101st Airborne in Vietnam, bandsmen find out that the book means what it says. Bands composed of male personnel will perform such combat duties as the exigencies of the service might demand. The exigencies in Vietnam can mean putting a lot of time filling sandbags. It's a local custom which grows out of a strong desire to have a roof over your head that won't fall in during a mortar attack. They may also have to take a turn at the job of making combat sweeps through the countryside in the headquarters area. This, too, is part of the job. They may be called on to play a part in any of the several division activities in the Civic Affairs program aimed at helping Vietnamese communities to help themselves. Here, too, their music provides a human-to-human link, a language that needs no translation. Here in the United States, the general public may not often get the chance to hear most Army bands perform. But there are three notable exceptions, three special bands which give hundreds of public performances each year. The United States Military Academy Band is the oldest active band in the Army. It was organized in 1820, some 150 years ago. Since then, its scope and proficiency have increased greatly. But its prime mission remains the same, to serve the Corps of Cadets, providing music for ceremonies, awards, parades, enriching the military tradition of which West Point is one of the nation's historic showcases. The United States Military Academy Band is one of the Army's three special bands. Another is the United States Army Field Band and Chorus. This is the Army's traveling band, the band that takes the music of both its military concert band and its dance orchestra out to the grassroots communities of America and into its greatest cities and to many countries overseas as well. They travel about 20,000 miles each year, so they've earned their unofficial title, Kings of the Highway. From spring through fall, they perform some 200 times for a total of nearly 300,000 people. It's not uncommon for a concert in a town with a population of 5,000 to draw an audience of 7,000 or 8,000. Typically, the military band with the chorus will be playing in one location and the dance band in another. goes from spring to fall for the field band and chorus. The third special band is the United States Army Band and Chorus based at Fort Myer in Arlington, Virginia. In 1922, General John J. Pershing, never a man to waste words, sent an order to a Captain Perry Lewis. It read, "You will organize and equip the Army Band." Not surprisingly, Captain Lewis promptly complied. And the band, bearing the name Pershing's Own, is still hard at work. Its primary assignment, to support the Army's ceremonial mission in the nation's capital. The Army Band's mission, as with the Navy, Air Force, and Marine bands, includes scores of appearances each year to provide music for parades and reviews, which are part of retirement ceremonies for senior leaders or the awarding of major military medals. The famous herald trumpets of the United States Army Band are frequently called upon to provide welcoming music for the arrival of important visitors to the White House, as well as to appear with the band in concert. Each Friday evening throughout the summer, the band performs at the East Plaza of the Capitol building. Hundreds of thousands of visitors and residents enjoy these Friday concerts. Concerts at the Watergate have been a regular feature of the Army Band's program for many years.
With a glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me, as he died to make men holy, let us die to make men free. While God is marching on. Glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His golden marches on. Glory, glory, hallelujah.
More somber duties are part of the band's day-to-day schedule as well. The band is called upon to provide music to honor departed comrades in arms at military funeral services. This may include a band group Or it may, as often happens, involve only a bugler to provide the haunting strains of taps. Whatever the assignment, day or night, weekday or weekend, large group or small, the overall total of performances by this organization runs to more than 4,000 each year. Throughout the Army and around the world, Army musicians continue to play the important role that their fellow artists in uniform have played throughout our military history. To bring to the soldier, wherever he is, music for his ceremonies and parades, and for his moments of leisure as well. To speak to his allies in the language that needs no translation. This, then, is the soldier musician. He goes wherever the Army's commitment takes him and does what he is uniquely qualified to do. This is their job, and this is what they're like, the Army's music men.